Here he is, the one, the only...
Oh, no, that's wrong. I was going to make some footnotes up there. Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. Hey, nobody's ever won $10,000 in this show. I don't know. They're either dumb or we're crooked, and I think I think I've got them in the reverse order. No, it's just coincidence, that's all. We're dying to give away this money because it's NBC's money, but we just can't. What's the matter? You think the wheel is loaded or something?
No, I don't know.
Are you loaded then?
No.
Well, at any rate, if any of our contestants say the secret word, the duck will pay them $100. Now then, where were we?
Groucho, I have...
Now, who's first, George? You're supposed to wait until I say who's first.
Oh, am I?
You can be replaced, you know.
Groucho, I have Mr...
You can be replaced, too, you know.
Mr. Stephen Perkins is waiting to
Stephen
talk.
Forster, isn't it?
No, Stephen Perkins is this gentleman's name.
Oh,
he's
this
waiting.
is not the songwriter, huh?
No. Groucho, I have Mr. Stephen Perkins waiting to talk to you, and his
You
partner...
said that, George.
His partner is a special guest, Mrs. Kathryn Godfrey. And I think I might mention here that Mrs. Godfrey is Arthur Godfrey's mother.
Well, shucks. Well, welcome to your best of life. Say the secret word and you'll divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Well, what do you know? Arthur Godfrey's mother, huh?
People say, are you related to him? And I say, I'm his producer.
Oh.
What's the word?
Well, you said the secret word, people, so you and your partner over here split $100. So now you're
wonderful.
already $50 ahead. Okay. Back where you came from, huh?
You know, Groucho, I always
Look out,
think,
don't bump into the Sputnik up there, huh?
I always think you're matchless, so I brought you something.
Oh, good. Well, I say, that's real nice. Thanks, you. I won't need the sulfur
Here's something to
after
go
I
with
go,
it.
huh? Well, good. You haven't got a square meal on you, have you? You're Stephen Perkins?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Mr. Perkins?
Marblehead.
No, I don't want a description of you. I just want to know all I want to know is where you hailed from.
And then
Where are you
I went
from?
to the Granite State.
Oh, the Granite
Born in
State.
Marblehead. Went
Well,
to
tell us
Granite.
something about Marblehead. What was your boyhood like there?
It was mighty cold. Mighty cold.
Mighty. Say, you're a regular fountain of information, aren't you? But I know what it's like back there in the winter because, you know, I was brought up in the East. How'd you like it as a boy, for instance, in the winter? How would you get to school?
Well, we used to have to walk to school. We used to plow through a lot of snow. Some mighty cold weather.
Well, that's admirable. Those are the things that made America great. Now, how far was the school from your home?
3 blocks.
Well, you're a charming couple, and I've certainly enjoyed talking to both of you. And, Kathryn, I think your son is a real big talent. And when you see him, you give him my regards on another network.
All right.
You think he's going to be happy with your appearance here tonight?
He doesn't know it.
Well, he will if he sees it,
Well,
won't he? Or
then what
doesn't he
can
watch?
he do? It's all over.
But do you think he'll enjoy it?
Well, he might.
I mean, does he approve of you having a theatrical
Oh,
career?
fun
Huh?
when I'm out. I do lots of club work. I sing and recite and read and everything else at clubs, women's clubs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but does he like, does
Well,
he
he'd rather I
approve?
stayed home and knit, but I'm not going to.
You're the boss, though, aren't
I'm the
you?
boss for
Yeah.
myself.
Well, you just keep throwing your weight around. Now then, you have selected, let's see, United States geography, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You've met Mr. Fenneman?
No, we haven't. How do you do?
This
How
is
do you
Mrs.
do?
Godfrey?
Yes.
And this is Cy Perkins. Is that
This
right?
is Steve Perkins.
You want to take
Sure,
the
that's all right.
scraps?
Oh, sure. That's what I do anyway.
Now,
Pick her up.
yeah. You selected United States geography, and I'm going to ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Now, what state is famous for its bluegrass region?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
You have one right.
Now, talk it over before you answer, because he might have a different answer.
We couldn't.
What state lies directly north of Louisiana? Now, talk it over.
Arkansas.
Arkansas is right, yeah.
You have 2 right. 2 more right, and you'll have $1,000.
Good.
Now, in what city is the Alamo? What city?
San Antonio. San Antonio.
And Sansonio is right.
You're almost there. Get the next one right, and the $1,000 is yours.
Now, which of our state capitals is situated at the highest altitude?
I would say Denver.
Washington.
Oh, let's say Denver.
Denver? Oh, I want Denver.
Well, I'm glad you have different answers because you're both wrong. It happens to be Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh?
That's the book.
That's a fooler, isn't it, huh?
Well, now you have one wrong. If you get the next one wrong, the game is over
Now,
for you.
what state is known as the land of sky blue water? Minnesota is right.
Well, you're back on the right track. You have one right now.
Now, what state lies directly east of Oregon?
That is...
Wait a minute.
Corporal over.
Oregon. East of Oregon. South Dakota.
Oh, that's Idaho.
South
One
east.
answer between you.
That's
I know
east
it.
of Oregon.
Idaho, I know definitely.
Montana. East of Montana.
It's Idaho.
Well, what do you decide
East of
on?
Montana. West.
You said east of Oregon, did you not?
East of Oregon.
It's Idaho.
Oh, I thought you said east of Montana.
Well, do you
Excuse me.
agree with that, Kathryn?
Yes,
Idaho.
Idaho.
Well, he's right. It was Idaho.
I thought you said
And
east
you
of
pretty near talked him
Montana.
out of the money, eh?
Well, you have two right anyway.
In what state do you find Bunker Hill?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is right.
We agree on that.
Now you got three right.
The next one right, and you'll have your $1,000.
I hope so.
The Lake of the Woods projection is the northernmost point of the United States. In what state is it?
That's in Minnesota primarily. You agree to that?
Wait a minute. Minnesota.
Well, they
Minnesota.
haven't given it.
Yeah,
Minnesota? It's a good thing you got him here tonight, Kathryn. Minnesota is right.
And you have four in a row, so you win $1,000.
Oh, that's right.
Now you've won $1,000. Now you can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You might even get a chance at $10,000. So go over there and sit down and think about it. And thanks for being on the show.
Groucho, Miss Ziva Rodan and Mr. Murray Rose
They're
are
on
standing.
deck?
No, they're just standing by to talk to you.
Standing by what?
They're standing by the outside here. Would you please come in, folks, and meet Groucho Marx now?
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Murray Rose and Ziva Rodan, is that right? Well, you're an attractive young couple. And Ziva, I'll start with you. And what I'd like to do is wind up with you. Now, what kind of a name is Ziva?
Well,
Is it anything like zebra?
No, it isn't. Ziva is an Israeli name. It means sunshine.
It does, huh?
Yes.
Are you from Israel?
Yes, I am.
You
I was
are.
born in Haifa.
Yeah.
My father is a professor of mathematics there.
Oh, you speak very good English. Did you learn it in Israel?
Well, basically, yes, but I went to school in St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis. Why did you go to St. Louis to school? Did you like the draft beer there with your lunch?
Well, I have an uncle who's a psychiatrist in St. Louis, and he invited me to visit with them for a couple of years, and I finished high school there.
Now, how long did you stay in St. Louis?
For a couple of years, and then I went back to Israel and joined the army.
Joined the Army? What did you do in the Army? General housework? Or was General housework the head of the Army?
No, the first 2 months I went through basic training just like a regular soldier, and then I was placed on the in the entertainment division.
You
Entertaining
entertained the whole
boys.
Army?
Well, not quite the whole army at once, you know.
What did you do in the Army? I mean, what did you do in the
I danced and I sang and I...
is this while the war was on? You were singing and dancing?
Of course,
They have dancers in the Army in Israel?
Well, it's something like the USO, you know. equivalent.
Apparently the Gaza Strip isn't what I thought it was. No wonder they've been fighting over it. I'll get around to you in a moment, Ziva. You're Murray Rose, huh?
Right.
Now, where are you from?
From Australia, Groucho.
Whereabouts? Were you born under a kangaroo, or
I was born in Birmingham, England.
you just said you were from Australia?
Well, I was born in Birmingham, England, and I traveled to Australia when I was 1, and I've been living there in Sydney ever since.
Well, what are you doing here?
I'm studying. I'm a student down at SC, Southern California.
Oh, I didn't know they had any students at USC. What are you studying there?
I'm taking a course in television and cinema from the point of view of acting and directing and producing.
You want to be a producer, director, and actor, huh?
Well, one of
Who
the
do you
other.
think you are, Orson Welles? What did you do in Australia?
Well, I've been swimming since I was 3.
You must have more barnacles on you than the Queen Mary.
I take a shower now and then.
What else do you do besides swim?
Nothing.
You're sort of a swimming bum, huh? Is that it? How old are you?
19.
19? I thought you were on 30. You're not old enough for this girl.
Oh, yes, he is.
This kid talks for herself, huh? Have you been on any big swimming meets?
I was in the recent Olympic Games in 1956 in Melbourne.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, you had some stiff competition, as I recall, in the Olympics. How did you make out?
I did quite reasonably. I won 3 gold medals.
This is... This is what is known as typical British understatement. Isn't that something of a record, 3 gold medals?
I believe so, yes. The last person to do it was Johnny Weissmuller in 1924.
Oh, then he wound up a tree. In other words, you're a world champion, is that right?
Right.
Well, I consider it an honor to have you come out for a dip in my swimming pool sometime.
I'll be delighted.
So I'd be glad to have you out there.
Love
Just be
to.
sure to bring your own water, huh? Now, Murray, do you have any particular secrets for winning gold medals? Any training rules that we'd be interested in that would help these people out front, for example?
Well, I restrict myself to no drinking, no smoking, no late nights, no dates.
How about diet? Do you eat anything special, like steaks and strawberry shortcake and things like that?
Well, to you, I probably have quite an unusual diet. I don't eat meat or fish or poultry, and instead I eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. And at the same time, I stay away from most devitalized and unprocessed foods, such as white sugars and white flours.
Well, if you don't eat meat and fish, where do you get your proteins?
Well, from such foods as nuts and soybeans and yogurt, wheat germ.
Well, now, let me get this straight. You don't have any late hours, no smoking, no drinking, no girls,
You said it.
no steaks,
No.
and no sweets.
That's right.
Well, when you're out there swimming, have you ever thought of just drowning yourself? Suppose you were at a big dinner and they don't serve any of the Schweinerei you mentioned here. What do? Do you open your lunchbox and drag out some yogurt?
I've never had to go to that length.
You mean you've never been invited to a dinner?
Well, I've been to a few, but there's always a salad or something around I can pick at.
The diet you mentioned would probably do all of us good. I know if I tried it, I'd be a lot better off than I am now. In fact, in 3 days, I'd be dead. Well, supposing the two of you were out on a date. This is more than a hypothetical question, I can see already. And he brought you home at, say, 8 o'clock after a hearty meal of nuts, soybeans, and yogurt. Now, what would you have to say about this? What would your reaction be?
I would invite him in for a swim.
Well, let's pursue this a little further. And later on, I'll pursue you a little further. Now, let's see if you two have anything in common. For example, Ziba, what sort of a dream man does a pretty girl like you have in mind?
Well, he must be intelligent.
Well, he goes to USC.
Got to be a little sophisticated.
Well, you can't get anybody more sophisticated than Murray. He's home in bed at 8 o'clock full of nuts and yogurt. Why did you come to Hollywood, Ziba?
Well, I've always wanted to be an actress.
You want to be an actress? Have you ever studied acting?
Yes, I have. I studied pantomime with the French pantomime artist Marcel Marceau.
Marceau?
And,
Well, he's only the greatest. He and my brother Harpo. Don't you think Harpo's pretty good pantomime?
Yes, it's quite good.
Well, I happen to be crazy about pantomime, particularly if you're involved in it.
Thank you.
I'd rather hear somebody sing in pantomime than any other way.
Oh, Groucho, pantomime is not singing. Pantomime is the expression of thoughts or an idea through the movement of the body. But
Well, you certainly got the equipment for it, huh?
no voice involved.
No boys involved. Well, could you show us what you mean? So why don't you stand over there, near your beloved, so the audience can see you.
Well, what I like to show...
Are those your gloves?
No, they're just
No, I thought maybe you use those for swimming, huh? Later on, you two can go hand in glove. Now, go on with this pantomime.
Well, I like to show maybe a little bit of walking, what we in pantomime consider the technicality of walking. Actually, I will be stationary in one spot, and you will have the feeling as if I'm moving.
She's certainly not going to get anywhere that way.
I'll show you, I know what I'll show you. Let me take it. I'll show you, for example, if you walked in the park and you saw a couple sitting on the bench, what
I'd
do you
send
think?
for a cop.
What do you think they would be doing? Do you have any idea?
It depends on what time it is. Now, what is this? This a couple sitting on a bench? Eva, you're an extremely talented girl. That's the best acting I've seen since my last interview with the income tax department. Well, you're a lovely couple, and if you don't get married tonight, you both ought to have your heads examined. You selected, I wish you both great success here in Hollywood. Say, you may be directing her in a picture someday, huh?
Let's hope, anyway.
Yes, let's hope so. Now, you selected world geography. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're through. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. What is another name for the Republic of Ireland? It's one word.
Ire?
That'll do. Could be Aaron, too.
You now have one right.
Cologne is the city on the Atlantic side of the Panama Canal. What is the city on the Pacific side?
It is in France, isn't it?
Hmm?
Well, it's Balboa. No. Abyssinia is the former name of what country?
Persia?
No. Gee, you ought to know this. Ethiopia.
Well, that's
Well, I'm
two
sorry.
wrong in a row.
Sorry. I was hoping you were going to win some money.
Oh, me too.
All right, I'm going to give you one more question for $100, and please don't help because it's rather difficult. Are you ready? What color was the old gray mare? Pink, that's right. Sorry you didn't win more, but thanks anyway for
Thank you
being with
very
us, and I
much.
know you're going to have a very successful
Thank you
future,
very
and you
much.
too.
Thanks, Groucho.
You'll get along swimmingly.
Before I go, I'd just like to say I'd like to donate my money to the community chest
Oh,
because I come under the rules of the Pacific Coast Conference and they don't allow me to accept money at the present.
oh. Well, you're a fine young fellow, and I'm sure you're going to be a great success. And thanks for being here.
That means that our first couple, Mrs. Godfrey and Mr. Perkins, have a chance to try for $10,000.
George, we're ready to see who wants to get a crack at all this fabulous money.
All right, here's Stephen Perkins and Mrs. Kathryn Godfrey. Would you come back out here again, please?
Well, Mrs. Godfrey and Cy Perkins, you've won $1,000 so far. Now, if you decide to try for the 10 and you fail, you wind up with a total of 500. Now, what are you going to do?
You get 500 anyway, huh? if you lose.
You get 500 between you if you lose.
Well, I think I will let him do it, and I'll back off.
You let George do it, huh?
Because there's a...
You want to give the money to your son. I know he needs it desperately, yeah?
What is it? What's the... bird in hands with two in a bush.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Godfrey, for that sage remark. Well, congratulations on winning the 500. Now, take a seat over there. Now, Mr. Perkins, you're going to try for the big money, huh? Think of a number between 1 and 10.
I think I'll take 9, Groucho.
9? Well, give the wheel a turn.
Okay.
Well, you chose 9, it came up 4, so this question is worth $1,000. You ready?
Already.
The Emporia, Kansas Gazette became nationally famous through the efforts of its wise and gifted editor. For $1,000, who is this outstanding small-town newspaper man? Think it over. What have you got?
That was Mr. White.
That was William Allen White is right. Yes, that's right. Well, for a country boy from New Hampshire, you've done pretty well. Now you've got $1,000. What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, I don't mind hard work, but that's a difficult decision, and I think I'll let Mrs. Perkins decide.
Well, I'm not going to influence you or comment on it. I want to congratulations and thank you for being on the show.
Here he is, the one, the only...
Uh-oh, no, that's wrong. I was going to make some footnotes up there. Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. Hey, nobody's ever won $10,000 in this show. I don't know. They're either dumb or we're crooked, and I think I think I've got them in the reverse order. No, it's just coincidence, that's all. We're dying to give away this money because it's NBC's money, but we just can't. What's the matter? You think the wheel is loaded or something?
No, I don't know.
Are you loaded then?
No.
Well, at any rate, if any of our contestants say the secret word, the duck will pay them $100. Now then, where were we?
Groucho, I have...
Now, who's first, George? You're supposed to wait until I say who's first.
Oh, am I?
You can be replaced, you know.
Groucho, I have Mr...
You can be replaced, too, you know.
Mr. Stephen Perkins is waiting to
Stephen
talk.
Forster, isn't it?
No, Stephen Perkins is this gentleman's name.
Oh,
he's
this
waiting.
is not the songwriter, huh?
No. Groucho, I have Mr. Stephen Perkins waiting to talk to you, and his
You
partner...
said that, George.
His partner is a special guest, Mrs. Kathryn Godfrey. And I think I might mention here that Mrs. Godfrey is Arthur Godfrey's mother.
Well, shucks. Well, welcome to your Better Life. Say the secret word and you'll divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Well, what do you know? Arthur Godfrey's mother, huh?
People say, are you
Well,
a